What's going on, guys? Mickle here, and in this video we are going over a bunch of digital assets that have been dipping hard and I think could be at a prime opportunity to start or add to your position. Guys, in this video I'm going to be covering a bunch of digital assets. They're all top tier players in the crypto industry. These are the kind of assets that when there's a dip in the market, you can feel confident adding to, knowing the fundamentals are extremely solid. Guys, if you are new to this channel or come here all the time, make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much in the YouTube algorithm and help more people like you see this video. Well, with that being said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you enjoy the content. Alrighty guys, so let's jump right into it, and before we get into the specific projects I want to tell you guys about in this video, I think we have to take a look at Bitcoin because I think that will help us understand what's going on with the market right now. We can see Bitcoin has fallen pretty hard from its previous all-time high and is now down about 22%. Bitcoin was retesting its former all-time high back here and is now fallen through the support it made back there. What we're really hoping Bitcoin will do is reclaim the support up here and kind of trend around this region. This will help Bitcoin form a nice base at around the $60 range, $60,000 range, before it can start to move up higher and create new all-time highs. This would take a ton of pressure off the general crypto market and allow a lot of the smaller cap projects to begin to push to new all-time highs. If we then take a look at something going on like an Ethereum, which also trades very similar to Bitcoin in this market, we can see that Ethereum is also selling off pretty hard, but having a much easier time reholding above its former all-time high. This is a very positive sign and lets us know that despite the fact that Bitcoin has fallen a little further than we would have expected, large cap altcoins like Ethereum are still holding above these former all-time highs very nicely. This makes me think that Bitcoin could just be falling a little harder, and as Ethereum rebounds off this former all-time high, we can see larger projects like Bitcoin move back up above this former all-time high and regain support as it catches up to what Ethereum has done on its rebound. With that being said, a lot of the selling we see right now in the market is driven by these two large cap coins. That makes it a prime opportunity to get into some of the other projects that are earlier on in their cycles and have a lot more room to move. We also know that they're generally undervalued in this market because Bitcoin is already significantly past its all-time high, while a lot of some of the other projects I'm going to show you haven't gone this parabolic. This is really important to point out because the way crypto works is typically Bitcoin and Ethereum are seen as two of the safest coins in the market. Therefore, a lot of the institutional money tends to flow into those first because they are the most well-known and safe bets that can be made. With that being said, there's a lot of other great coins that these institutions are going to catch on to later on in this bull market. It's important to identify those before they move in so you can see these kinds of massive gains to the upside. We want to be focusing on the coins that have not pumped massively yet. That's how the main profits are made, and you just need to be patient for the time to come for each one of these projects. The first project I want to show you is called HBAR. If you don't know anything about HBAR, I've done a couple videos on them in my channel. I'm not going to get too much into the fundamentals of HBAR. I'll save that for a different video, but we can see right now HBAR is in a super interesting pattern. It was climbing this just horizontal trend line or diagonal trend line for a little bit before it eventually fell through it. It then fell back on top of its previous all-time high, and it has now just been consolidating here for a couple months now. What we're really looking for HBAR to do is rebound pretty hard off this accumulation region right here, which is creating support for this current pattern, but created resistance for this other pattern back here. We really want to see HBAR rebound out of here and go on to create some new all-time highs. HBAR is one of my favorite projects in this market, and I think if HBAR could catch some steam, it could easily start moving up to the dollar region. We just need to make it past this support zone right here without falling through it. The next project I want to bring to your attention is Algorand. Algorand is actually playing out very similarly to HBAR, and this is an accumulation pattern that looks very bullish to me. As we can see, Algorand is clearly hanging above this top region right here very nicely. It looks like Algorand's finding good support, and I would not be surprised to see it rebound out of here in the next couple days. Once Algorand is able to create some solid support, I would not be surprised if it moved up to the $5 range. Algorand is a very great project in this market, and it's really fostered most of its development from MIT. This likely puts a lot of confidence in people who want to invest in Algorand, knowing there's a top-tier U.S. institution that is really driving its adoption. If we take a look at the algo chart, we can see that we are very early on in what Algorand is. When Algorand first hit the market, it was trading at $3.26, and that was before a lot of people really understand what Algorand really was and how massive it was going to be in a future blockchain society. We can see that it kind of just makes sense for Algorand to create another one of these patterns right here, where we could see it pump up to around the $3.50 range. So it could look something maybe like this. Move sideways before moving up, topping out, and repeating this pattern. I'm really looking for Algorand to continue this general wave pattern, because that's kind of the way it's always played out. But we do know that under $3.50, I do believe Algorand is heavily undervalued and should be trading for a lot more in the years to come. It's hard to imagine what Algorand could be valued at in about 2024, and looking back at this chart, seeing how lucky we were to accumulate Algorand under the listing price. Algorand's really a top tier asset, and I'm going to be watching this one closely and possibly accumulating on this dip. The next one I brought to bring to your attention is DOT. DOT is a little more highly priced in this market, as it's trading around the $35 range and up pretty significantly from earlier this year, where it's rallied very hard. Now, the thing about DOT is it's a great project and is really bringing interoperability to all of crypto. If you don't know a lot about polkadot, I highly suggest you learn about it, and it's actually one of my favorite projects outside of XRP. We can see that DOT is coming back to retest its former all-time high, and the chart really does look pretty good. It's very interesting to see here that over the course of the past 292 days, DOT has really been consolidating in the same region and hasn't really done much. It fell pretty drastically here, and this next rally we saw over the last couple months has really just been DOT getting back to where it was last year in February. We really want to see a DOT rebound off of these levels and create some nice support on this base. If that does happen, I would not be surprised if DOT could move up to the $100 range. And while I think this was one of the best dips of our lives to accumulate cheap DOT, I certainly don't think this one's bad either. And I don't think we're going to be trading in this $35 range very long. DOT is a top tier digital asset, and a lot of its supply is going to get locked up due to staking. There are massive staking rewards, and you also have the parachains, and it's going to be making it so a lot of people are actually hoarding DOT rather than looking to sell it on the open market. This is one of my favorite things about DOT. It makes me very confident whenever I accumulate it. The next coin I want to bring to your attention is DAG. DAG is a pretty interesting one. They're currently working with the U.S. Air Force and some other massive U.S. government organizations, and are looking to help streamline the transfer of information between all these different organizations. We know centralized databases are very susceptible to hacks, and blockchain projects like DAG can help solve this problem. We can see that DAG had a massive run-up and almost 1,000x or 10x up into the 50-cent range. It then fell pretty hardly and is now finding some pretty solid support back here in this about 18-cent range. Right now, I'm currently looking to see what DAG does. It fell pretty violently here, and we need to make sure it can stay above this range and does not fall through. If it can keep making support right here and the pattern can flatten out, I'd be very interested in adding to some new DAG, because I think in the long run it's going to be moving into the top 25 of projects on the market cap. DAG is a super cool project, and I really do believe it will be trading well over $1 in the years to come. Right now, I'm just focusing on the best time to add to my position, and I would like to see it flatten out a little more in this region, kind of like what we're seeing in ALGO, just to make me feel more confident that this support zone is going to hold. The next project I want to bring to your attention is the one and only XRP. This is one I talk about on my channel a lot, and in my opinion, XRP is one of the best ones to be adding to because of how undervalued it is compared to the other top tier digital assets. We can still see XRP is well below its all-time high, and we know XRP is one of the top tier assets out there, so we do expect it to move significantly past this all-time high. I would not be surprised in the slightest if XRP was at the $10 range within the year, and we can see XRP is currently playing out in a massive symmetrical triangle pattern. Once XRP pushes off this bottom support line and back up into this resistance, I think the next time XRP breaks through this resistance, the price is going to get extremely parabolic and likely make an assault on past all-time highs. The last project I want to bring you guys is Quant. Quant is one of my personal favorites. It's one that I haven't added to in a while because of how parabolic the price has gotten. But we do now see Quant hanging out in this $200 range, which I personally think is a great place to add some Quant. A lot of people miss Quant because of how quickly it rallied, and now we see it dipping. So it's going to be interesting to see all those people who complained about how fast Quant was rallying and how much they wanted it to dip are going to react to the current dip we're seeing. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this update. I hope I was able to bring some new assets to your attention. Some you might be interested in adding. Let me know down in the comments what you think of all of these. Let me know if you added any of these over the past couple days. I think this is definitely a great time to be averaging into some of these. They're all top tier projects, and it's really hard to even comprehend of where they'll be trading at in the next 5 to 10 years. But we can only do our best and try to accumulate these at the best opportunities, and I certainly do not think this is a bad time to be adding to some of these positions. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure you like this video down below and or subscribe to my channel. And for now, Mickle out.